Welcome back to ESA Winter 21. We are raising money for Alzheimer funding. Links to donate can be found below the stream or type exclamation point donate in chat. We would also like to thank Koei Tecmo Europe's recently released Nioh 2, the complete edition, Twitch, and ViewSonic for sponsoring the event. Now it's time for Galasrinie running Nioh, all main missions. Let's go.
Hi everyone, I am Galasrinie. I'm going to be showing off the Nioh speedrun. Gonna get to explain the things that we do over the course of the run, and I hope you will enjoy. Okay. So time will start when I press continue on this screen. It'll just take a little bit to load. And my estimate is very generous because this game is pretty random and a lot of bad things can happen, but hopefully we'll have a good time. Okay, so time will start when I press continue, which will be in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, this is Nioh. Nioh is an action role-playing game by Team Ninja. The main character of the game is William, who is this character that we're going to be playing as for the duration of the whole speedrun. And right now, William is in prison in England, and the first objective is to break out of prison. So that's what we're going to be doing for this first little part of the game. Now, while I'm running through this prison, I'm just going to explain a few things that you see on the screen here. On the right side of the screen, there are 2 dark boxes. The top box is going to be for our ranged weapons, and the bottom box is going to be for our melee weapons. Like right now we have the sword in the lower box, which we use to kill the guard who was guarding our jail cell, William's jail cell. Now, on the left-hand side, there are 4 more dark boxes, and that is going to be our quick slot for our consumable items, as well as magic and ninjutsu that we get a bit later on the run. So they're going to be at the bottom left corner that you see there. And now, in the top left corner, there is a blue bar as well as a green bar. The blue bar is our health bar, with my health being rather low right now since I got hit by the guard when going through the door. And the green bar is called our key bar, which is similar to stamina but acts a little bit differently. Okay, that was very good. It's very easy to die there with those guards because they can be rather mean, but that's okay. Now, from that chest, I got an axe, and that is the weapon that we're going to be using for the first boss, who is just coming up soon. His name is Derek the Executioner, who is based off a real-life person whose name was Thomas Derek. He executed over 3,000 people. Now, at the start of Derek's fight, when he drops down, I hit him 3 times in the back with the axe. Hitting enemies in the back does more damage, which is something you're going to see a lot over the course of the Nioh speedrun. Right now, I want him to do a charge. Then I hit him 3 times again. The objective of this fight isn't actually to get his HP to 0, but just to deplete his key bar so that he then staggers over and he can progress to the next part of the game. It is possible to get a black screen here. Okay, thankfully we didn't get a black screen. That's good. So now, William has broken out of prison and he is on his way now to Japan. But before we go to Japan, we have a menu that we have to do of our first weapons and that we pick. We pick the sword. For this majority of the speedrun, we use the sword for movement, but we also use it for a few fights. And we also pick the Kasarigama, which we're going to be using a lot for the speedrun. And we also pick Kato the Wolf for the first guardian spirit that we pick. And we don't do tutorials because we don't need them. So now William is in Japan. From this first corpse, you collect the first weapon that you pick in that menu, which is the sword, so we equip the sword. And for the speedrun, the main movement that we have is this low stance dashing with the sword. There's a few more things on our screen, so I'll get to explain them. Underneath our weapons on the right side, there is now this circle with 4 figures inside that are holding swords. That is our stances. In Nioh, the combat is rather complex, as you have 3 main stances and also technically a stance when your sword is sheathed. And in each of those attack stances, you do different attack moves, and you can also get different skills for each of those stances. So there's a lot to do with the combat in Nioh that you can take advantage of in the game, and it makes it rather the feeling to play, as you can experiment. It's like From this corpse here, I'm going to be getting a bow and arrow. Gonna be needing that. This here is a shrine, which is kind of a safety spot where you can level up and do quite a few things. I rest here as I want to acquire a few things. First of all, I want to level my magic to 7. And I want to unlock some magic skills as well as a ninjutsu skill. Gonna be getting the shuriken as well as a water talisman and a weakness talisman. The water talisman, when used, puts a water buff on your weapon. And the weakness talisman, when used, you cast it onto an enemy and it makes them a bit weak. Now here there is something special that you can do, which I didn't get to do, but that's okay. It's possible to make it through the fire with only 2 ticks of damage if you do it fast in low stance dashing. Because usually you go to the left side, there's all these buildings, and you go over them to get to the other side, but it is possible to make it across like that with just a little bit of your health left. You can make it across without only taking a bit of damage rather than dying, but that's okay. It's a little bit tight. I'm going to be buffing up with water, and in this ship is a boss whose name is Onryoki. Start of Onryoki's fight, we cast weakness, and I use high stance with the Kasarigama as it will hit Onryoki in the horn. In Nioh, there are I guess you could say two types of enemies that you could classify as. There are yokai and then there are human. Onryoki is a yokai enemy, and for some of the yokai enemies they have a horn which you can hit and it staggers them, so that's what I did at the start there. And then we go behind him and he takes more damage from behind, so that's what. Now, Onryoki is an amassment of vengeful spirits, or Onryo. In Japanese law, an Onryo is the ghost of someone who died with deep hatred or rage, and they are a common appearance in war. It is speculated that Onryoki here could have been the amassment of slaves that possibly manpowered this ship but were slaughtered, and the ball and shackles could be a figurative symbol to support this, for his boss fight. Now, because Nioh is mission-based, you go back to this map and you select the next mission that you're going to do. Before I do though, I'm going to go to the shrine and level up. And I'm going to be acquiring another skill for the Kasarigama, which I'll get to show off in the next mission for the next boss fight. So this mission is called Deep in the Shadows. This is like a mountainous region. And there aren't that many skips in the Nioh speedrun. Most of the tech is all combat techniques and what we do in the combat. That's like the main highlight of the speedrun. But there is one in this chapter that I'll get to show off. Just around this corner. First thing I do is put my weapon away, and by pressing up against that fencing, it is possible to make it to this lower ledge. Usually go to the left side and move down, do a walkway down to get below here, but it is possible to fall on that ledge, and it saves about 30 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty cool. In this chest, I'm going to be retrieving a few items, protocol mask and a fire amulet, and I'll get to explain them once they become relevant in the speedrun. We just pick it up now because we need it for later. Yeah, this is like a cave. There's also another item that I want to pick up in this cave. And then we're gonna, as we make our way to the boss fight arena. From this corpse, there is a travel amulet. And what a travel amulet allows you to do is travel back to a shrine that you had previously rested at. We're going to be using it a bit later as well. Now for this fight, I use this skill where William roars, which is called Summer Twilight with the Kasarigama. So for this fight, we're going to be doing a bit more damage. Now this is Hino Enma. At the start of Hino's Enma's fight, you can hit her with a shuriken, which trips her over, and we use this skill, which is called Reaper for the Kasarigama. Because of the way that the Reaper skill moves, because of the movement of this skill, you can actually avoid her bite that Hino Emma tries to do after she's been tripped over there, and can kill her fast that way. So Hino Enma is an apparition disguised as a beautiful woman. The name itself can literally translate to flying fate demon, and they feed on the virility and blood of men. That was Hinoya. She was like a bat lady. Now the next mission is the Spirit Stone Slumbers. There are 2 boss fights in this mission, and the first one is Nioh, which is one of the oldest recorded yokai. It has the head of a monkey, the body of a tanuki, the tail of a snake, and the head of a tiger. In Osaka, you can actually visit the grave of Nioh, which was supposedly hunted in Kyoto in the year 1153. So we're going to see Nioh in just a minute. We just have to get to his boss fight first. But before we do, there's a corpse here which I want to retrieve the items from. We get a moment talisman as well as a small soul stone. The moment talisman, what it does is it's when used will summon the guardian spirit that you have equipped. Right now we have Kato the fire wolf. So we're gonna be summoning Kato into Nioh's fight to do some fire damage for us, which will be important. And we equip the moment talisman in our quick slot. So we use Summer Twilight with the Kusarigama, use water. When Nioh comes out, I cast weakness on him. He will always do this lightning at the start. We go behind him and we use the moment talisman twice. So now he has a fire debuff on him. And because I have water on my Kusarigama, we also do a water debuff. And what happens when an enemy has 2 elemental debuffs procced on them, there is another debuff that procs, which is called Confusion. Confusion is pretty powerful in the game, in that when an enemy is confused, or when a yokai is confused, they don't restore their ki, and they stagger very easily. So we're going to be using that for quite a few of the yokai bosses, and it's very helpful. Now, this part is just a bit of a running segment in this catacomb. So if you'd like to read any donations or talk about the Alzheimer Fund, you're most welcome to.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. I believe this may have been from the previous run, but we do have a $100 donation from Anonymous, who says this Final Fantasy 15 run by Kia's Little Monster has been amazingly enjoyable. I've never played the game, but I'm definitely going to try it out. Loving this event. And we also have another $100 anonymous donation that says "Go Go Gadget Gala."
Oh, thank you. So if you have any more, you're most welcome to.
Excellent. Yeah, so we have an $80 donation from Mad One, who says, "Good luck, Gala. You can do it."
Thank you. So yeah, the whole reason why we... Sorry, I'll just...
No, go ahead.
The whole reason why we run around is to get that, so we can open these doors. That's all I wanted to say. You're most welcome to keep reading.
Okay. Yeah. And we do have a $25 donation from Razor360. Gala, she's our gal. Greatest samurai and spirits pal. Go Gala. Good luck on your run and show those yokai who has the best buns in the biz.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was great. Thank you. And thank you all for those donations.
Now this is an NPC, and she needs to help us to open these doors. There's another door up ahead, which is where the next boss fight is, and we need her help to open that door, so hopefully she will not get too preoccupied with the yokai and will come straight to us. However, sometimes she gets preoccupied, which I hope doesn't happen. Okay, she's very good. She was very good for our marathon today. Sometimes she's so eager at defeating enemies, she just stays behind there and fights them. That's good. Now this is our first human boss, whose name is Tachibana. At the start of Tachibana's fight, I shoot him in the head with the cannon. We cast weakness on him when he's on the floor. When he gets up again, we shoot him again. I approach him, hit him on the floor, and now we activate this mechanic, which is called Living Weapon. Oh god. Okay. A little bit scary, because he He didn't get hit by any of my attacks there when I was in living weapon, but that's okay. Not many of them. So, living weapon in Nioh is a power-up attack that is based upon which guardian spirit you have equipped. Like right now we have Kato the dog, which is in the left-hand corner. You can use living weapon when your meter on the upper left-hand side of the screen is full. Your living weapon meter will fill when you get Amrita from killing enemies or when enemies die in the area. You get these yellow, kind of like yellow circles that come to you. That's Amrita. Or you can get Amrita from spirit stones. And Amrita is the name of the experience points in the game, which you can use to level up as well. And Amrita, when translated, means immortality. And it's interesting because when living weapon is activated, your health bar becomes a timer. Your health bar and your key bar becomes a timer. And during that timer, you're technically immortal as your health bar isn't affected. However, when you get hit by enemies, that timer will decrease. Okay. That's living weapon. Don't be seeing that used a bit throughout the run. Now this is the silver mines. There's a lot of poison around here. And yokais as well that are in the poison. I'm gonna go to the left here, as there is a corpse with some gun ammunition, which I'm gonna need a bit later, as well as a travel amulet, which I want to pick up. There's a key item up here, which I need to open the door, so we just have to kill the skeleton that's in the corner. We collect the central mine key, which allows us to go through this door. And we rest at this shrine. I'm gonna be leveling up a bit and also acquiring some more skills, which we'll need for the next fight. I level my magic and spirit to 10, which is very important. Gonna be getting the wind talisman and also gonna be getting a talisman which is called Kekai. Kekai, when used, allows your ki to regenerate a lot faster. So that's gonna be quite a bit. I also equipped the Hyotoko mask and the fire amulet for fire damage, which will be for a fight coming up a bit later. From this corpse, get some more gun ammunition as well as another Hyotoko mask. From this chest, there's a lot of things that I want, like the moment talisman, so we just pick that up. And now the boss fight that is coming up is a giant centipede, who is also known as Omukade, which is based off a real-life centipede called Mukade, which can grow up to 20 centimeters in length, so it's a very big centipede. So we buff up. We're gonna be using wind for this fight. This is the giant centipede. At the start of the fight, I cast weakness. I'm gonna block, guard the first attack. See what he does. We dash. So we avoid the first attack, and then we break up the giant centipede's body, so he's sighted on the floor. Oh dear, this is bad. This is not good. Okay. Okay, I should have done that. It's okay. Yeah, I don't think this is not good. Okay, this is not good. Hold on. Okay, this was really scary, because... Okay. I didn't get my wind debuff on him. I should have used a different thing, but that's okay. Still able to trip him over. So when living weapon is activated, you can do the moment talisman move where you summon Kato the dog, the spirit. So we want to get the wind debuff on him because we have wind on our weapon, and then we want to get fire. We summon the dog so it trips the centipede over. And then you can do a lot of damage while it's tripped over, but my wind debuff didn't go on him very well, so that's okay. Thankfully it was okay. We got through it, so that's the main thing. Now in this area there's a lot of water, and there's a lot of places where you can fall in the water, so if you've played this game casually, that's probably happened quite a few times. And before this mission, I leveled up my body to 10 because for the boss fight here, there is one move in particular that you can tank if you have a bit more health. And that will make our speedrun a lot better for our marathon. So we do that. Now from her, I got flint as well as more fire amulet. The flint is gonna be for this burner to the side here. There are 4 of these, not 4, there's 3 of these in the area. Because in the boss fight coming up, there are 3 smaller enemies that spawn in. And the more of those burners that you light, less of those enemies will spawn in. So I light one of them, so instead of 3, there will be 2 in the fight to make it a bit more manageable. So I'm gonna be using some spirit stones so that we have our Ritter gauge a bit fuller, because we're gonna have living weapon a bit later in this fight. So this is Umi Bozu, which literally translates to sea monk. So yeah, there are these small enemies that spawn in Umi Bozu's fight. So first objective is to get rid of them. Because Umi Bozu in the back there is harassing us while we do this, but that's okay. And for this fight, we want to use fire. This is why we picked up the fire amulet as well as the Hyotoko mask. I'm going to be casting weakness on him. When he does a move like this with his arm, I want to position myself in such a way that I can get in his armpit, and I use the Hyotoko mask. The Hyotoko mask does this breathing, like fire breathing. I might try go for a 1 cycle. I got a 1 cycle. Okay, that's awesome. So it is possible to skip second phase. That's pretty good. You don't always get that. I'm glad I got to show that off. You can actually skip second phase if you do enough damage to him with the Hyotoko mask. The fire damage you can. Yeah. So like I prepared living weapon just in case, like for second phase you do something, but yeah, we completely skipped it, so that's cool. Damn, that was pretty good. Okay. Now before the next mission, I'm gonna level up my skill, and we're gonna be getting a skill for the sword, which is Morning Moon, and I'm also gonna be getting unlocking some skills for the Kasarigama, such as Shadow Strike, which gives you more attack from behind. Gonna be re-equipping water and equipping the travel amulet. And collecting some of them, which we're gonna need for the next mission in particular. So this next mission is Spider Nest Castle, and as the name suggests, there's a lot of spiders in this area. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of spiders and skeletons as well. But we got a skill for the sword, Morning Moon, which we're going to be using for the spiders. It works rather well on them, so I'll get to show it off. Go up here, and there'll be a spider who tries to come after you. I'm going high stance, and we use this move which is called Morning Moon, where William does like a flip with the sword. Using that is very good against the spiders. This spider is guarding the door, and I want to get through that door, so we gotta... Ooh. I didn't think that would work, because usually you try and go behind them, but I was kind of on the side of him, so I was a bit weary. But you go behind them, and you use that Morning Moon technique, and it depletes their key, and they're kind of flat on the floor, and then you can hit them from behind. Now, the reason why we got that shrine was not just for safety, but because we are going to be using the travel amulet to walk back to that shrine a bit later. Because to the left, there is a castle, but you need a key to get in that castle, and the key is in this building. So we have to get that key first. I'm throwing these bombs here because there are these smaller eggs in front of this larger spider who is guarding the door, and we want to get rid of those eggs first. I want to get behind him. He is not jumping very nice. There we go. Give me a Kasarigama tea set. So now we can go through this door. And we're gonna get the key. Which is just up here. Retrieve the key, and we go to this side here. And we quickly zip back to the shrine so we don't have to walk around. We just go here and we can go straight to the castle. That guy can punch you in the head. Sometimes he does that, so you have to be careful about that. Be very careful. So now we can go through here. And I'm going to be using a spirit stone to fill up the rest of my meter so that we can have living weapon for the next fight. And because this area is full of spiders, you might be able to guess that the boss herself is a giant spider. Her name is Jorogumo, and the name Jorogumo when translated means entangling bride, but it can also mean horse spider, so we're going to be seeing her in just a minute. This is Jorogumo. Start of her fight, I want to see exactly what she's trying to do. And because her abdomen is a glowy point, weak point to take advantage of. So we hit her abdomen and put her key low enough. And then we activate living weapon and we can take her down. So something about Nioh with yokai enemies is often the glowy point is a weak spot. Like with Onryoki before, his horn was like a weak spot that was glowing. So yeah, often the glowy point is a point you can take advantage of. And for Jorogumo, that's her abdomen. So we try and go behind her and hit the abdomen and then use living weapon. And when her key is depleted, yeah, you can do a lot of damage and she staggers. Thankfully she was in a good position too because she moves back ever so slightly each time you hit her. But she was stuck in the corner, so that was a good fight. Now in this mission, which is all covered in snow, we're gonna be versing Yuki Onna. Yuki Onna are snow women that hunt and feed on the life forces of their victims. They are ageless and have bodies of ice. In folklore, there are accounts where Yuki Onna can marry and live happily with humans, and the Yuki Onna that we verse in Nioh is actually the lover of Oda Nobunaga. So we're gonna see her, gonna see Yuki Onna a bit later in the mission. We're also gonna be hearing her voice as well while we're progressing through. And for this mission, I specifically want the gun because there are these butterflies that you need to attack to progress through the mission. Because these butterflies are tied to these crystals. Oh god. A little bit strange my camera went like that, that's okay. So those butterflies are tied to those crystals. If the butterfly in the area is still around, she's not very nice. That's bad. This is not good. It's not good if she does a dash because... Okay. It's better if she doesn't attack and stays over there, but she did a dash, which is not very nice. Okay, this is okay. So we did that to get to this butterfly here. Because that lets us go through this crystal. I bait that skeleton out so that he doesn't bother me, hopefully, going through this crystal. Oh gosh, that's okay. And now there's one more butterfly that we need to hit. Just over here. Oh gosh. Aiming percent. So we hit that butterfly, and then we can hit this crystal, and now we can... That's the final butterflies that we have to hit, and we can make it to the boss arena. That skeleton can be a bit scary, because he can kill me when going through this door. Because in Nioh, you don't have any invincibility when going through doors. So, enemies can take advantage of you while you're going through a door, and that's not very nice. Okay. That's okay. Gonna be picking this up as a little bit of safety. Hopefully I won't get to use it, but just in case if I do need it, I have it ready. Now I'm going to be using 2 large spirit stones. And now this is Yuki Onna. Start of Yuki Onna's fight, I want to cast weakness on her. I want her... With Yuki Onna's fight, she's a little bit of a... She can be rather cruel, because there is one move in particular that we want from her, which is the longest attack animation that she has to get behind her. She's not giving it to me. Sometimes she gives it to you straight away. Other times, like today, she doesn't want to give it to you at all. Come on. Okay, there we go. So with that, because that's the longest one, you can get behind her. She want to do a grab, that's not very nice. Okay. She wasn't too nice for our marathon today, but we were able to do it. Because yeah, her other moves, the animations are a bit shorter, so you don't get a lot of time to attack her back to reduce her ki low enough. So we want that move where she throws her ice weapon, because then it gives us enough time to, and yeah. So sometimes she gives it to you straight at the start of the fight, but today she took her time. That's okay. Yeah. Now this next mission as well will be a bit of running around, so there isn't too much for me to explain for the next mission until we get to the boss. So if you have anything else you'd like to say for donations or incentives, you're most welcome to now.
Oh, of course. We have a $10 donation from Counter Kitty, who says, "Good luck, Gala. Always a thrill to see you run at events, and I'm looking forward to Loincloth William."
Yeah.
We have a $40 donation from Stinky Picnic, who says, "Good luck, have fun, Gala. Thanks to ESA for putting on this event." And I would like to say that with that $40 donation, Stinky Picnic has qualified themselves for both of the prizes that you could win that have been provided by our sponsor, ViewSonic. These are two models of displays, a ViewSonic VX2758, and I think the actual model number is much longer, but it's a 27-inch QHD or 1440p monitor with a 144 Hz refresh rate, and a ViewSonic Elite XG270, which is a 27-inch Full HD or 1080p monitor with a 240 Hz refresh rate. And with those minimum donations, which are cumulative throughout the event, you are required to make those or to put in the same information for those donations. But once you do meet those minimal requirements, you do have a chance to win one or both of those models of displays for $35 and $25 respectively.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the boss fight is just coming up. Just buffle him up, and we use water talisman. And now this is White Tiger. Start White Tiger's fight. Cast weakness. His eye, as you can tell, is a glowing point. So I'm going to be using the Reaper technique at his face. And yeah, his health really just gets wrecked. So yeah, using that Reaper move of the Kasarigama is very, very powerful. Yeah, his fight is very fast. And one thing you might have noticed me doing after each mission is that I go into the menu when I'm transitioning out, because during that time you can go in the menu, and I'm checking to see if I have better drops and equipment to equip along the course of the run. So yeah, make sure that my equipment is better leveled for the next missions that come up. Now going to the shrine, I'm going to be leveling up my magic. Ooh. And I'm going to be acquiring some more magic skills. Going to be acquiring the Earth Talisman, and then we're going to be getting the Guardian Spirit Talisman, and also a Dual Sword skill for later. So now the Guardian Spirit... Oh gosh. The Guardian Spirit Talisman will replenish, because it's a your magic skill. I'm also going to be needing Earth a bit later. For an Earth buff. So now we're on to the next map of Japan, and this is Eager Escape. No one escapes from Eager Escape because this area is very problematic. It's very, very tough to get through here because there are very hyper-aggressive ninjas as well as spiders in this area. So, yeah, this will be interesting. That's okay. Hopefully we can get through. Also in this mission, there are these revolving doors. There's a ninja there. Thankfully, he didn't kill me going up the ladder. These ninjas are pretty random. Sometimes they can be very passive or very aggressive, so you just have to keep a lookout for that. And now, while I'm going through this door, from the previous mission, I got this Omnium Mage's hat. And I'm going to be using that because it allows William's casting speed to be a lot faster. And while having that held on, you can cast that Guardian Spirit Talisman through that wall and it staggers the enemy on the other side. So we can quickly go through that door. That crystal is tied to the ninjas there, so I break that crystal so the ninjas won't be bothering me. I'm going to be using this because I'm going to be wanting Living Weapon a bit later. Also, that door is a safety, because, yeah, for our marathon. So yeah, there are a lot of ninjas here. While this ninja comes here, I cast Kata the Wolf, so that he can trip him over and I can get access to this shrine. This next part of the mission in particular is problematic. Ninjas, yeah. Okay. Go through here. There's going to be a hole to drop down. From this corpse, there is an item which I'm going to be wanting for a bit later. The travel amulet. Oh god. I want to shoot this guy in the head. Oh, I'm getting chased. And that's what happens. That's okay. There's a guy that chases you sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't chase you too. But that's okay. Gonna be using the Summoner's Candle because what a Summoner's Candle does is it lets you get back your spirit with the... along with the Amrita that you had. Yeah, he's following me. Okay. At least now I don't have to get that eye. Okay, this is not good. Yeah, this is problematic. That's okay. Come on. Okay, now this is why we want Living Weapon. There is a ninja that falls down here. I wanted to use Living Weapon in such a way so it staggers him back a bit. But they can still follow you here. Okay, good. However, if they're not in this room, they disappear. But behind that wall, that door there where I casted the Guardian Spirit Talisman, there is something you need to hit which changes the area. And instead of having to open the door, we can do that with the talisman because the talisman can go through walls, which is very convenient. And yeah, that's a little safety shortcut. So we'll pick that up for our marathon run. Going through this wall. I'm going to be buffing William up here instead of in front of the boss door because there are some ninjas hanging around there and we don't want them pestering me, so we buffed there. Now the next boss is a giant toad. So in this fight, I want to dash away from him, cast weakness on him, and we're going to be using the Reaper technique from behind him. When he does a jump, I want to stay quite away from him because his hitbox is really big. I should have hit him a bit more, that's okay. When you are behind him, he does like a turning animation, which I use. It gives you enough time to hit him quite a bit. Yes, you can keep him turning. Yeah, and that's the end of Giant Toad. He usually doesn't even get the chance to... Yeah, he doesn't get the chance to fight. Because he does this little jump where he restores his ki when you do enough damage to him. So, and then, yeah, try and get him to turn around and... Yeah. That was good. Now the next mission is Memories of Death Lilies. And the boss that we fight here is called Ogress, which is also called a Kijo, which is a female demon. They mostly resemble a human woman with distinguishable features such as red and yellow eyes, sharp horns, long claws, and supernatural ugliness. So we'll get to see her a bit later in the mission. But we just gotta move through the area a bit first. Yeah, you can see this is like a little foresty area with lilies around, and you see the little umi buzzers there. See a few enemies that we've seen before. And to the left there is a temple where Ogress is, but we need a key, so we have to go get that key first from the area. And I'm gonna be getting this shrine just in case. Let's go. There's a corpse here also, which I want some items from, but there is a yokai who's looking at it and sniffing it out, so we gotta trip him over. Sorry. He just falls over, it's rather funny. We hit him with the Guardian Talisman, and he falls over. We also do that to this guy here, because it hits them in the horn, and then they stagger over. And this is the key that we want, the temple key. Now we're going through this door. I'm gonna check my equipment, put that one on. Go heal up, do some buffs. And for Ogress's fight, we're gonna be using 2 elemental debuffs so that we can get confusion on her. So this is Ogress. She has very long nails. Class weakness. And I'm using low stance slow with the Kasarigama. So I got the water debuff on her, and now I use earth, as I want to have the earth debuff on her as well. So a 2 elemental debuff, she gets confusion, and she staggers a lot when he hit her, and then you can take her down. Now, at this point in the speedrun, we've mainly been versing yokai or monster bosses, or demonic kind of bosses. But now in the speedrun, we're gonna start versing more humanoid enemies. So we have different strategies that we use for them. Yeah, that we're gonna be seeing. A little bit different. So this next mission is just a cutscene, which we won't get to see, but there is a bit of loading as well, so you're most welcome to read off any donations, if you have any.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a $5 donation from Steve Kerr, who says, Gala is a total bad arse. She can grind with the best of them. We'll see if Laura's Ninetales final form is going to be a boss to speedrun in the future. Lol. And we have a $10 donation from JK, who says, Run and Laura are on point. I hope we get to learn some more, we get to learn some more onomatopoeia later on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I do want to mention that while you are donating, we do have some upcoming bid wars and incentives to meet. Up next, or after Undertale, we have Psyops, and there's a bid war to choose the skin or player model, and I believe Clown General is in the lead.
Ooh. Exciting. Now this next mission is Edo Castle. There's gonna be 2 humanoid bosses in this mission. This is based in Edo Castle. And this water here is kind of like smelly water. If you were to stand in this water for too long, because it reeks, William actually does like a vomiting kind of animation. So we touch the bucket there for a water buff, so he doesn't do that. No smelly William. We got this ladder. I'll be taking this shrine for safety. So the first humanoid boss is a little bit of a gimmick fight, which I'll get to show off. But for the next boss after it, there is something special that we're going to need, and that is the bow. We're going to be needing the bow. So I buff William up. We use Kekai for extra key regeneration. We use Summer Twilight with the Kasarigama. Even if you don't have the Kasarigama equipped, you can still have that buff. So I just run with the sword there. Oh, yeah. And I buff there specifically because, yeah, that enemy can kill you. Now, this is Honda. I say he's a little bit of a gimmick fight just because you can fight him normally, or there is an alternative where you can just break the crystals. And, well, breaking crystals is probably faster. Oh god. So we just do that. And from those crystals it drops a lot of spirit stones, which is a good resource, so I try and pick them up when he dies. Cool. So that was Honda. And now the next boss, her name is Okatsu, and she is meant to be based off Iyasu's daughter, if I had that correctly, but his daughter wasn't actually that much of a ninja, but he did have a daughter. And that enemy can kill you going through that door, which he just did. So it's very good that I took that shrine. That's okay. That's okay. Very good that I took that shrine. So yeah, if you have any donations you want to read, you can read a little bit more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have a $5 donation from Stylefeed or Stillfeed, who writes half speedrun, half trivia, all charity. Something something onomatopoeia.
Thank you.
And we have a $25 donation from XSkyline22, who writes, "Good luck on the run, Gala. I stayed up late to see all your hard work pay off."
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Skyline is good for him.
And we are definitely making some inroads on those donation incentives. Later on in the marathon, we have the Resident Evil 5 New Game Amateur Co-op run with a $600 goal that has just jumped up to $565 toward that goal, which is choosing the Crisp Punching a Boulder incentive. It lets us do the Crisp Punching a Boulder quick time event rather than the fast kill on the final boss, and it looks like chat really wants to see that. So keep those donations coming. Thank you all so much.
So yeah, Okatsu's boss fight arena is just here, and we're gonna be using the sword for her fight. The reason why we have the bow is to hit her. I can't see it. That's why you take the shrine for her. That's okay. Okay. Okay, so you're meant to hit her in the bow in the head at the start of her fight. And then she trips over. And we use this skill. Why did I not do that correctly? Okay. That's okay. That's okay.
It's now a good time for a donation?
No, because I'll be just quickly going back to her boss fight. It's okay.
Okay, yeah, of course.
So at the start of her fight, you can hit her in the head, like right at the start. I took too long trying to position my arrow, but that's okay. So yeah, you can do that. She trips over, you cast weakness on her. I will use this skill, which is called EI Quick Draw. I said EI Strike before, but it's actually EI Quick Draw, which is with the sword. And let me just pick up my spirit as well. What we do is, because with the bow, to do the quick draw, EI quick draw move with the sword, William's weapon needs to be sheathed. But each time you sheath, there's an animation which is pretty slow of his weapon getting sheathed. But if you go into the bow view using the bow and quickly go out of it, he will quickly put his weapon away. So that way we are able to loop that technique over and over in such a way that we can trip them over. We can trip humanoid bosses over so that they don't get up. I think there's a motorbike outside my house, sorry. But yeah. You can trip. We're also going to be doing that for the next boss as well and a few other humanoid bosses, so I'll hopefully get to explain it a bit better. So yeah, we're going to be using that technique. So this is Immortal Flame. Fushimi Castle, and this place is all on fire. The boss that we verse here is also a humanoid boss, which we're going to be using EI Strike with. EI Quick Draw, sorry. I keep saying strike because it looks like a strike, so in my brain I just say that. EI Quick Draw with the sword. However, he is a lot harder to do it on because they need to be in the animation of getting up, and he gets up very fast, so we're going to be seeing that. Now there is a little bit of a shortcut here. Using the Guardian Talisman, you can hit the back of this wall from the other side. Usually you hit it from the other side, because you have to go around to it. However, because the Guardian Spirit can go through a wall, you can hit it from the other side. So that's probably nice. Little shortcut there. Now we're just going to be running through here. A lot of enemies around with guns, so you just have to watch out. Or get hit. That's also something. And in this area, because there's a lot of fire that you have to go through, there is also these buckets that have water. Like right now I have 3 droplets underneath my HP and key bar. That means I have a little water buff on me, which allows William to go through the fire without taking health damage. He just takes, yeah, damage to that little buff that gets reduced each time you hit fire. Now this door, you can get harassed by guns and ammunition. None of that even happens, so that's strange. Well, I got blessed at that door, that's okay. But yeah, blocking in Nioh can save your life. So often when I'm going through a door animation, because you don't have iframes like going through it, I'll usually be holding the block button going through the door because you can block when you're coming out of it. Yeah, so I do that a lot. Now we're going to be buffing up Kekkai, Summer Twilight with the Kasarigama, and using water on the sword. Now this is Saika Magawichi. His fighter is a little bit technical, so maybe I'll explain it after I do it. But yeah, you dash his gunshot, you trip him with the sword. Pull 8 that's on him. Keep doing my quick draws very short. I want him to do a grab, but he didn't give me one. See, one thing... That's bad. Keep this low. One thing about fights in Nioh is that it doesn't always go as planned, so it's very important to know like what to do when things don't go good. So one thing in particular with combat in Nioh, he's just staying there, which is very unfortunate, is I am changing from low stance to high stance. Low stance is good for mobility, whereas high stance is good for punishing attacks. Saika. I don't like him standing there. Okay, at least he's coming out now. And I use Morning Moon, and yeah. But it's possible to trip him just like Okatsu, but he's a little bit more harder because his animation of getting up is a lot faster. And yeah, it's easy for things to become problematic, but that's okay. It's good to know what things you can do even when fights go wrong. So the stances, knowing the stances is very important because for the majority of the run, we use low stance. We don't even use middle stance a lot for the run. We use low stance and high stance. Low stance for movement and being able to move briskly, and then high stance for punishing attacks if you want to do damage. So that's what we do a lot for the speed run. You'll notice that. Now this is Sekigahara. If you know a little bit about Japanese history, you'll know that Sekigahara is a pretty important part of Japanese history where it split Japan in two. Split the country in two. So this is going to be a bit of a war zone that you'll get to see. And there's 2 bosses in this mission. One of them is kind of yokai humanoid. More yokai than humanoid, I would say. And then the second boss is a humanoid boss. So yeah, this is just the war zone. You're going to be seeing a lot of corpses around. And also soldiers as well. And something that you might be asking, like, you might be looking at William and like, why is he not wearing any clothes? I removed William's clothes a bit earlier. And the reason why we don't wear armor for the speedrun is because we want his equipment load to be very low. Because you move faster when your equipment load is lower. And for the speedrun, we don't really need armor. You just need brisk movement. So we buff William up, and I'm going to be using... Hopefully this will be enough. Spirit Stone so that we have living weapon activated. Now this is Otani Yotsugu. He was a general of the Otani clan. And what we're going to be doing is trying to get him into this corner. We activate living weapon in such a way, hopefully he doesn't move. Okay, very good. This is okay. And then you can use, oh, one thing I didn't do was cast weakness on him. I was wondering why my damage wasn't as good as it normally is. I thought I did cast weakness, but I guess I mustn't have. That's okay. You get him in the corner, you use living weapon, and you can pin him in the corner and use the Reaper skill and takes him out very fast. Now Otani was, he was a general of the Otani clan that fought under Ishida Mitsunari at Sekigahara, and you might have noticed with his attire in the game that he wore like a white mask over his face. That is typical attire for someone who has leprosy. So, and Otani was a leper, and he historically died at the Battle of Sekigahara, so we're making our speedrun historically accurate by defeating him. Now that guy with the Odachi is very scary, but thankfully he didn't hit me. Odachis have big range, so running past him can be a little bit gut-wrenching. That's okay. That's okay. Use Kekai, and the next boss is a humanoid boss, so we're going to be using the bow as well as the quick draw move with the sword. I get him when he dashes forward, you can hit him. And Ashima gets up very slow for a humanoid boss, so his animation of getting up off the floor is very slow, so he's a very good boss to practice that technique on. And yeah, we just take him out. You can shoot him with the arrow when he rolls forward towards you, or you can shoot him right at the start. Like just straight away. But yeah, just to be safe. Make sure he rolls. Sometimes you can miss him. So, yeah. So yeah, Shima Saikon was also another samurai officer who fought under Ishida Mitsunari at Sekigahara, so that's why he was there. So yeah, we fought him as well. So I'll be leveling up my spirit, and after defeating Shima, we get Karajishi. Karajishi as a guardian spirit is pretty powerful, so we're going to be using that for the next mission, which is the Source of Evil. Now in this mission, we are going to be versing Gasha Dokuro, which are skeletal giants. We're going to be versing a big skeleton here. They are born from the decay and anger of victims in mass graves, and it's typical to find them at battlegrounds such as this. And the name itself, Gasha, is an onomatopoeia, such as Gasha Gasha or Gachi Gachi, for rattling or chattering, and Dokuro translates to skull, so the literal translation of Gasha Dokuro could be that of rattling skull. So, big skeleton we're going to be versing soon. Yeah, I used some spirit stones so that we have a living weapon for Gasha Dokuro's fight. And his arena is right in the middle of this mission, and I fall to the side on this side in particular because he will turn around, gives me an opportunity to do some buffs, and also when he is turned around this way on this side, he will most likely do a move which gives us good access to his feet. We want to break one of his limbs, because when you do, he falls over. Usually do it twice, however, it is possible to one cycle Gasha Dokuro. We want to cast weakness on him. Activate living weapon. And then we use Reaper with the Kasarigama, that technique. And it chips away his health until he is no more. Just check if I have any better equipment. Mainly look out for swords and kasarigamas, because that's mainly what I'm using for the speedrun. Yeah. That's what I look out for. Now we're going to the next region of Japan. The next mission has quite a long running segment, so if you want to start reading off some donations, you're most welcome to start doing that now.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So we have a $35 donation from Rocket Puff who says, "Good luck, Gala."
Thank you.
And we have a $35 donation from Strange Mortem, who I believe their donation is runner's choice.
Oh, what incentives do we have?
Oh, well, we have quite a few. Yeah.
What is the next incentive coming up?
So the next one is the PsyOps Bid War, but the next incentive to meet is the Resident Evil 5 New Game Plus.
Oh, yeah. Put it towards that one. I have a friend who's in that run.
Excellent. Yeah, I can do that.
Put it towards that one.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So yeah, this is Mount Ibuki. This is a big running segment before the boss fight, so yeah, you're most welcome to talk about donations and anything you like.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me mark this red. Yeah, we also have a $25 donation from username Niels, who says, "I read once that ninjas can't catch you if you're on fire."
Not sure about that one.
Well, and just to remind everyone what it is we're here for, you're watching ESA Winter 21, and we're raising money for the Alzheimer Funding. The Alzheimer Funding is a Swedish national fundraising organization focusing on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related diseases. Alzheimer Funding's aim and purpose is to increase fundraising to the benefit of scientific research in order to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Yearly, Alzheimer Funded Science Council and Board of Directors grant scientists and projects around 30 million Swedish krona. So that money is definitely put toward a great cause. And if you select those incentives, you too can see this marathon go a little further. Thank you all so much for those generous donations. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we have a $10 donation from X Skyline 22, who says, "Good luck on the run, Gala. I stayed up late to watch you and all your hard work pay off."
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the moving segment here is rather tight, and I accidentally fell off a cliff, so that's not
Sorry
read
about
more.
Yeah, of course. And then, yeah, we have a $35 donation from J-Hacks, who writes, "Thank you, Gala, for the entertaining run and class on Japanese culture. Go, Gala Gang."
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all so much for those generous donations.
Get a bit closer now. I'm going to be using this here, just so my movement will be a bit better going through here. And then we'll get the shrine, which is before the boss. Because, yeah, in runs, you usually don't get the shrine. But it's very risky in that, like, you have to do this whole running segment again if you die, so... Very good little safety for our marathon. So I remembered I said that Otani and Shima fought under Ishida Mitsunari. Now we're actually going to be versing Ishida Mitsunari in the next fight. And well, his fight is very fast. Yeah, he's got a very fast fight. Hopefully, we'll get to see. I buff up, and I'm going to be using the water talisman here in such a way so that to bait that guy out, so that we can get to the door. So, yeah. Now this is Ishida Mitsunari. Start of his fight, I want to cast weakness on him. He will do this move always at the start. So I want to move in such a way to get behind him. You do more damage from behind, and like Yokai, the glowy plane is a weak spot. He's got a glowy tail, so we go behind him, do a lot of damage, and he falls dead. So yeah. That was the end of him. Now the next mission is the Samurai of Sawayama. And there are some wall clips in this mission, which I get to show off. They're pretty cool. Cool little thing. Like I said before, there aren't that many skips in Nioh, but there's a few little things that we can do. Majority is, yeah, all combat tech. So, but there's a cute, cute little thing we can do here. Cool little thing we can do here. So yeah, we go around here. And there are doors here that usually open, but instead you can actually go through the wall like that. That's one of them. You use dashing, you can go through. And also the second one is a bit more tricky here, a little bit more precise. And I have to bait out these enemies so that they don't annoy me while I'm going through. Please do an attack, mister, please. Not to me though. I thought I could get behind him, but I couldn't get behind him. That's okay. Because you want to bait them out and then go through, because if you try to do the clip, they can kill you while going through. But sometimes I just go idle and just stare at you and it's not very nice, but yeah, that's okay. Also, one thing about this mission with speedrunning is there isn't really a safety harness. You have to go through the whole mission and then defeat the boss in one go. Because there isn't really a convenient shrine. Like, there's a shrine over there, but... or there's some shrines, but they're not very convenient for the speedrun to get, so... Oh, gosh. I didn't even see him on my screen. Okay. Sorry. I wear glasses. I didn't even see him. It was so dark. You blended in with the... blended in with the floor. Okay. Let's try this again. Hopefully I won't get shocked either. Okay. Okay. So go past them and then you want to clip through like that, yeah. Sometimes you can also get stuck in that wall. So it's important to make sure the enemies are preoccupied. Yeah, that sucks a little bit, but that's okay. So it's important, because yeah, when you're speedrunning this game, enemies literally one-shot you, like, all the time, because we have not that lot of health. So, yeah, that's okay. Well, this cannon guy, too, can be a bit annoying if you don't go to him fast enough, but that's okay. Now here is another problematic spot. There is a boulder that comes down here, but it is possible to make it past that boulder by squeezing up against the wall. Sometimes those enemies there hit you and put you in an animation where you get squashed, but thankfully that didn't happen, so I was able to get past there. So that's another cool little thing in this mission. Spider comes out, and I need to bait this guy to... yeah, that wheel is coming after me. No, no. Okay, that's fine. Usually that wheel doesn't get alerted, but he did this time. That's not very nice that he got alerted. So yeah, this is one of those missions, but it's okay. The door is open and that's the final thing, and then you have the boss. So yeah, this is why my estimate is generous, because things like this can happen. Like when I was doing practice for my run, my runs were very underestimate. So I was like, oh, I wonder if I should reduce my estimate, but I'm glad that I didn't, because there's always random stuff that can happen in this game. So, good life lesson. Okay. Just move through. Oh god, okay. This cannon guy is probably gonna shoot at me, yeah. If you go fast enough, he doesn't shoot. Okay, I got shot at. That sucks. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, having to go through this mission over and over can get a little bit stressful, but we'll try not to get too stressed out. Because yeah, there isn't like a checkpoint I can take, which, you know, saves me having to go through the whole area. You have to do the whole area. There isn't, yeah, anything like that. There is, but it takes quite a bit of time to... Hello, please do something. Yeah. Not being very nice to me today. This is what I mean by getting stuck in the wall. Oh dear, okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay. Let's not get squashed. Just need to not get squashed. And everything should be okay. Put his cannon away. It's good. You know, I might actually wait this one. If I can. Oh, the bolt is not coming. Okay. Okay. There we go. We'll just do that. I did do it the first time, so you did see it. But I just want to make sure that I can get through, because... Yeah. Already been in this area a little bit too long. That's okay. This is my first time doing Nioh at a marathon too, so I was a little bit nervous about things like this happening, but it's okay. That's just the type of game that this is. Okay, now we're getting up to the boss door. So this is Obsidian Samurai. Start of his fight, we cast Weakness. This is not good. Oh no. This is not good. Usually you do? Okay, this is fine. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Usually he jumped, so I didn't get the water debuff on him straight away. Everything's going wrong, but that's okay. Keep going, keep fighting. So yeah, this was Obsidian Samurai, who is based off a real man whose original name is unknown, but he was called Yasuke in Japan. Yasuke was of African descent and the servant of an Italian Jesuit who did missionary work in Japan. Oda Nobunaga requested to see Yasuke after hearing rumors of his appearance in Japan, and eventually Yasuke was honored the title of samurai and fought under Oda Nobunaga. So that's who we just faced. That's cool. So I'm just gonna be... Here I'm actually gonna make some offerings. I wanna organize my stuff by type, because I wanna make sure that I have some jewel swords if I look through here. So I'm gonna be unequipping them and offering the rest up. Hopefully that'll be okay. We're just gonna level up, and we're gonna be changing our guardian spirit to... Yeah, to something different. Just need to make sure I actually offered. Now, we'll change it to Sasuke, which is the spirit that we got after defeating Saika Magachi, which is like a firebird, which we're gonna need for this mission. So this is Azuchi Castle. This area is rather pretty. This is the final mission of any percent. There's quite a bit of bosses in this mission, but because the old main mission's vanilla incentive got met, there'll also be another mission after this one, which I'll do. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's do this mission. Gonna be using a soul stone. There's some enemies around. There's a lot of enemies around, and you have 2 NPC helpers who help you with defeating the enemies in this mission when you play casually. I'm just gonna be running past a lot of the enemies, and the NPCs are gonna be fighting enemies, and I didn't fill up my Amrita to full. Okay, that's fine. Because when they kill enemies, I'll be getting Amrita from their bodies that die. There are foxes in this area. Yeah. There are foxes in this area that are very aggressive. I got killed by the skeleton instead. That's okay. But also a reason why I don't want my my living weapon full is because when you have living weapon full with this spirit, you actually activate living weapon, and I don't really want that happening just because I want to save my resources and things like that. Oh god. Okay, this is fine. This is okay. But yeah, when they spawn in, because the yokai pools tag you if you're not like that. Now I want this this skeleton in the back to shoot me twice. Shoot me twice in the back because I want critical HP. Right now my HP bar is very low and it is flashing red. When you have low health, your living weapon will last longer. And that's going to be important for this next fight. Summer Twilight. And now there is going to be a lot of enemies who spawn in front of this door, who are guarding this door. There is like a red circle on that door and you can't go through until all the enemies that spawn in are killed. That's not very nice, he did that. That's okay. So I want to cast Suzaku, the bird, while I have living weapon activated. It does like a big area. And when it hits enemies, it's very good at depleting their ki. And then as enemies die, because you get Amrita from the enemies, it fills up the living weapon meter, which is helpful. Okay, and that's all of them. So we can go through the door now. I make it up here in the castle. In front of us, there is an elevator. To get access to that elevator, you need to defeat the mini-bosses that are connected to this castle, which are behind these doors. And they're gonna be bosses that we had previously seen throughout the run. So I'll get to show them off. So if you weren't here earlier, you'll get to see them again. So this first one that we're gonna verse is Nioh. Cast weakness on Nioh, then we cast the guiding talisman, which does the firebird. I think he hit me with his tail there. I should have done low stance low, but I did high stance because usually I can get him, but that's okay. Might actually use this again because picking up my spirit there will be problematic. That's okay. Yeah, baiting him out too is not good. That's not a very good bait because he did a very fast attack there. But that's okay. Buff up again, use water, weakness talisman. Weakness talisman. The talisman did not hit him very well. That's not very nice. So we want confusion on him and then you can defeat him that way. This run has been quite a thing to do. That's okay. Marathon happens on marathons, it's okay. So the next one will be Onryoki. Onryoki. He was the first boss in Japan that we versed quite a while ago. Buff up for him, use water. Weakness. Talisman. So he gets fire debuff. Then we want to do water debuff. And then yeah, we can just take him down. It's very powerful. And now we're going to be using the travel amulet to zip back to the shrine so we don't have to walk the whole way. And then there's 2 more mini bosses that we need to verse. In this chest, there is a sacred brush. That's going to be very important for a fight coming quite a bit later. I'll bait out the skeleton. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. That's good. Behind this door is Joraguma, the spider boss. Buff up. Don't really need water, but I'll use it anyway. Weakness, I want to go behind. Oh, actually, I can use this. Let's use weak. Yeah. Oh god. Joraguma. Okay. That's okay. And the next fight in particular, I want living weapons, so I'm going to be using that. Don't really need Kekai for this one, so I'm just gonna use one of these. I'll put weakness and then activate living weapon behind her because she trips over, and then we use a Reaper while living weapon is activated. Click up, collect up the drops, and then we just step back to the shrine. And now we have access to the elevator. So we can get on the elevator now. Yay! I can get on the elevator. Just gonna be checking out my equipment, and I'm gonna be equipping the sacred brushes, which I'm gonna need a bit later. Use Kekai, Summer Twilight with the sword, and now we're gonna be versing Oda Nobunaga, a reincarnation of the big guy himself, one of the most infamous daimyos, and we'll see what will. That's not what I wanted to clip. That's okay. That's fine. I actually did want him to kill me there, because I didn't have the bow and arrow ready. I still had the gun, the cannon equipped. I had it like this, but I wanted the... That's unfortunate. That's okay. So yeah, being ready is important. Let me just do this. At this point in the run, you don't really need levels, so that's okay. Would have been okay if I had... Yeah, the bow ready. How many arrows do I have with the bow, actually? I have 4, okay. Good to take note of my resources while I'm running. Okay. So for Oda Nobunaga's fight, his fight is pretty cool. He uses a lot of elements and things, but in the speedrun, because he's a humanoid, when he does a dash forward, we shoot him in the head. Cast weakness on him while he's on the floor, and then we use the EI quick draw with the sword. Hit him while he's in the animation of trying to get up. You can trip him over again. Like that. That was Oda Nobunaga. I'm gonna be changing my guardian spirit to Karajishi, because we won't be needing... Yeah, we won't be needing to use the talisman with the bird, for example, so... Well, Karajishi, because Karajishi gives you more attack buffs. And who we're gonna verse next is the main antagonist of Nioh. His name is Edward Kelly. For his fight, I feel most comfortable using dual swords, so that's what I'm gonna be using. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be using. This is Sir Edward Kelly, who was an English occultist. And this one move that I unlocked a while ago is called... I'm not doing a lot of damage with this sword. These swords, I should say. That's okay. Okay. We defeated Kelly. Yeah, he was an occultist. I'll say what move that was in a minute. That was... Yeah, Sign of the Cross. It's similar to what EI Quick Draw is for the sword, but it's a little bit different for the dual swords. And I prefer just using that for that fight, so I did that. Now this is Yamato no Orochi, which is our final boss of any percent, because there's actually credits that come after this boss fight. And it is one of the most oldest and probably famous Japanese legends. Yamato no Orochi, when translated, means 8-branched serpent. So we're going to be versing all these serpents in this boss fight. Yeah. The thing with this fight is you need to wait for them to do a move where their body is pressed up against the rooftop so that you can do damage to them. And we're going to be using this. They're called sacred brushes. I collected some just a bit earlier. Because we want to be casting weakness a lot in this fight, because it really helps. But my weakness didn't make contact. That's okay. the weakness talisman that I cast. And yeah, these serpents have quite a few. They have a few different moves. One of them is like they cast a bomb like that. Other one is where they breathe fire like that. And I need to look out for the bombs in particular because they are very deadly. Not only do they hit you the first time, but they have an after effect as well. So be careful of those. Each time you defeat a serpent, you get their buff on your weapon. Like I just defeated the one that was blue and now I have a buff on my weapon. The moves that I want to look out for to do damage to them are the moves where they breathe fire like this. Because then you can approach them. However, yeah, this fight can be a little bit rude. Because if they throw a bomb at me, I can't take advantage of the enemy very well. And I'm always looking in such a way that I can see what the next one is doing. Sometimes you deplete all their ki rather than their health. This is a little bit dangerous because there was a bomb right there. Okay, this is good. Now here, if you stand in a certain spot, I'm actually going to use this real quick just to make sure I have living weapon if something goes bad. Want to cast weakness on the nose. When he approaches, if you stay still, he will approach in such a way that you can do damage to him. Activate living weapon, just in case. Yeah. Okay. Now this will be the finale. Gonna change my weapon back to a sword for dashing. Yeah. Ascend Yamato no Arechi. In the legend though, Amaterasu versus Yamato no Arechi, but today William will have to do it. William had to do it. That's okay. So yeah, after we go forward on Edward Kelly's body, there's actually credits after the cutscene here for 80%, but because we're doing all main missions, there is one more mission after this one that we're going to be doing. So I'll get to show that. So thank you everyone who donated or put that towards, yeah, the incentive. I appreciate it. Thank you. But before we go to it, I'm just going to quickly go to the blacksmith. You don't really go to the blacksmith that much on the speedrun for all my missions, but I'm going to be just buying a few things. Just going to be buying some cannon ammunition as a little safety. Just in case. The blacksmith is very cute. It's too bad you don't really see it during the run. But yeah, this is the final mission of, yeah, all my missions, which is called the Queen's Eyes, where William goes back to London. So he was in Japan and now he's going back to London because there was also someone else as well as Edward Kelly who is a bad guy. So we have to come back to London and, yeah, show him what's up. So that's what William's gonna do. I'm using a soul stone because I want living weapon, and I'm not going to be using living weapon in an offensive way, but instead I'm going to be using it defensively because there is a door coming up that has a lot of guards around it, and because you don't get iframes when going through a door animation, you would have to deal with these guards first. However, when you have living weapon activated, your health bar becomes a timer, and when you get hit, that timer just reduces, so you can actually go through that door that way instead. And we can make a run through here. There's a little bit of running here, so this is the final time if you want to talk about donations or anything. Or if there's no donations, that's okay too.
I'm sorry. Well, I do have to mention that with that Runner's Choice donation, we did meet the Resident Evil 5 Chris punching a boulder incentive.
Awesome.
So we will be seeing that. Yeah, and we do have a few more donations. So
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we have a $35 donation from Yes Cup that says, "Good luck, Gala. You've got this."
Thank you.
And we have a $5 donation from Meow Death Star that says, "Killing so many demons, that's not yokai." And we have a $25 donation from Not More Lore who says, "Good luck, Gala. The power of the Fundoshi is with you."
Thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna be equipping some better equipment that I got from after Yamato no Orochi. You get some better equipment, and we're gonna be using the cannon for here. There are Kellys, clones of Edward Kelly that come out of these chest tubes, I guess you could call them, and you can one-shot them in the head using the cannon. So we're gonna be using that to get rid of them. The final one will drop the key for this door. And we're going to be having the final boss of all my missions, which is called 100 Eyes, or Hyakume, which are pink, lumpy flesh yokai covered in 100 eyes. So we're going to be seeing that in just a second. Want to cast Weakness on 100 Eyes. He did this move, which is not the move that I like, because it hones in on you. Want to get behind him, do a lot of damage to him, and then you can take him out with Living Left Band. Yeah, his fire goes up very fast. Now time will stop on this black screen in 3, 2, 1, time. So that's time. Yeah. Cool. Now.
And now you see nothing more.
Now he sees nothing more. I guess I just want to give a little shout out to the Nioh speedrunning community, and a special shout out to Joy. Joy helped me a lot with my commentary for this run. So I want to say thanks to Joy. And now, William, he touches this Amrita memory, I think it's called, or orb, and he sees what's happening in Japan, and he says, "Oh no, I gotta go back to Japan." So he's gonna go back to Japan for the DLC, but I won't be doing the DLC today. You'll have to play that yourself. Yeah. So, thank you for having me. Hope you enjoyed this run. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for the donations. We do have one more donation that came in.
Awesome.
Peanut has a $50 donation, and they say, "Congrats, Gala, on another great marathon run. You're a big
Thank you.
inspiration to all us speedrunners."
Thank you.
Thank you, Peanut, and thank you all. Thank you everyone who donated during this run. What a
Yeah, thank
great
you.
community.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.